Hello everybody, how are you doing? And we are back with another video today. So, it seems that our cancerous humanoid slime ball decided to flip it on us and go to his UhOhBro channel. Clever. Not really, but clever enough for him. He has so many channels that he probably couldn't think of another one to upload on, so he went to UhOhBro, which is irony. It's called We Have a Problem. Let's go right into that video. Because, oh boy, it's a lot longer than it usually is. Well, what's he gonna have? Tell me in the comments what you guys think he's gonna have.
So, let's talk about what needs to be talked about in regards to how you perceive the world.
Oh boy. Well, tell me what I already know, Professor.
Let's say that you have an issue with somebody because you think that their problems aren't as big as yours. Let's say
Oh my god. And already we're off to some fallacies.
that you think because you have certain challenges in life that suddenly other challenges aren't as valid. A child who drops their ice cream on the ground and is crying harder than they ever have in their life, you're not going to think very highly of somebody if they walk up.
That's exactly what you're doing, though. You're acting like a child who dropped ice cream and is screaming to give them their Patreon back.
And they say, well, if you think that's bad, you should try going through a divorce. That doesn't make the kid feel better.
That makes no sense. You're comparing apples to oranges right here.
That kid's pain is still valid. And all you really accomplished is proving that you're.
So you're comparing yourself to the kid, or are you comparing yourself to the adult here? I want to lean towards you're pandering yourself towards the kid because you think you're a 16-year-old emo kid who never grew up.
A-hole who doesn't understand pain, how the grass is always greener on the other side. You know what I mean?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
So when you're a human being, and it's sad that we have to explain this to some people, but when you're a human being,
oh, like you're not one. I mean, you're the worst one, but, that's semantics.
we have this consistent, many of us, feeling that things could be better. And so we look at things, I wish I had a bigger house, I wish I had a nicer car, and we wish. Then we look at people who.
And you know what I wish? I wish you weren't here. I wish you weren't on this platform. I wish you weren't on any platform. Wish you were in prison. That's it.
Have the things we don't, and we say, oh, well, they don't have problems, because if I had that, I'd be happy. But the problem with that is that human beings are problem solvers.
And you're not a problem solver, you're a problem maker.
And in order to be a problem solver, you have to identify problems. And when you identify
The underlying problem here is you.
problems, it probably means that you're not necessarily feeling great about them. Because when you identify problems, that's now a problem that you have.
That made no goddamn sense. You're talking out of your ass now.
So what I'm saying is that a person who just worries about eating food doesn't care about these bigger issues.
That makes no sense either. Stop trying to make sense where it doesn't.
Yet emotionally, they react to a lot of these issues the same way as if they were dealing with what someone would perceive as smaller issues. So when you say something like, oh, skinny girls, your problems aren't valid because I'm fat, and being fat is a real problem.
Grow up, dude. You're getting fat now, shut up.
This is not true. Problems are problems. And when people react the same emotionally to being fat as they do to being skinny, in both their eyes, those problems are pretty equal.
Just shut the fuck up. You're not making any sense.
Because emotionally, they're feeling them the same way. So their suffering is the same. And we as human beings who care about each other, we're compassionate towards suffering, not towards how big the problem is in our opinion. We're compassionate towards the feeling because we ourselves
Is there a rest stop between here and the fucking point?
don't like suffering. So we try to correct the suffering. We try to make people's lives better. So when you say your suffering is not valid, but my suffering is, even though it's essentially the same sensation of suffering, because let's be real, if there was no suffering, nobody felt bad about anything, then it would be hard to be a victim of something in many instances. Not all, but in many instances. For instance, if someone cheated on me and I was laughing my butt off and totally fine with it, like I didn't have any emotional negative response, that doesn't really make me a victim of that.
Oh, grow up, you fucking wannabe victim.
In the sense that I'm not showing damages. When you don't show damages, it's hard to show that someone did something bad. Kind of like somebody walking up to a wall, and if you spray paint it and you can see spray paint on it, graffiti, it's clear crime that occurred. But if somebody spray paints a wall with transparent spray paint and there's nothing there, you can't see anything, it's hard to get someone in trouble for that.
What? You're saying that you're not going to be in trouble for something because nobody can see the somehow pain that you're in or whatever? I mean, sure, but that analogy makes no sense in this equation.
Because you don't really have proof. Ultimately, the reason I made this video is because a lot of people say that other people don't have real problems, like skinny girls. They say,
Other people don't have real problems. What? Get to the point.
oh, you're skinny, you have nothing to feel bad about. That's not true. A lot of people get bullied as skinny people. They get called scrawny, pathetic, puny, etc. So to act like those people don't have problems is ignorant. And
So, do you have a point to any of this?
it makes you a little maybe less human in regards to feeling.
I got feelings too. I had to divorce and kick people out of my life. I have feelings too, guys.
And relating with other people's suffering. So when I see people on Twitter going like, skinny shaming isn't a thing, that's ignorant. And ignorance is not something to be proud of because you're.
I mean, yeah, you have a point with this. I don't want to say that anyway, but I don't want to have to agree with this. But the way he's making it, it's really stupid conjecture at this point.
Wrong and you are oblivious and uneducated.
Basically, he wanted to have a point where he wants to call people stupid and everything. So like he pretends to be Mr. Professor in this one. Also, doesn't it look like he dumped kombucha on his head already? I mean, he's growing out his beard, trying to, I don't know, look edgier or more pathetic. I don't know.
We live in the real world. And if we're trying to advance in the real world, we have to understand the real world.
Well, you're preaching to the choir here because you need to understand the real world and you need to understand that there are consequences to your behavior and the actions that you have done to other people. So, yeah.
So when you reveal things like that you don't understand basic concepts about life, that people suffer equally regardless of the problem.
So you're just admitting that the girls that you have suffered, that you have made suffer, are valid, and that they have valid reasons for suffering because of you, and that is equal. The laws of physics here are also at play. And I would go into details of this, but my brain is not functioning at capacity whenever I watch an Onision video.
Problems in many instances. Someone who just lost their dog could cry just as hard as someone who just lost immensely more.
Yeah, that's not the point though. So, are you admitting to everything that you've done? Excuse me. Are you admitting to everything that you've done in this video? Because that sounds like what you're doing here.
3 dogs, 4 dogs, other people. You could put both suffering on scales, and it would come out to many times the same, depending on how that person reacts to things emotionally. So long story short, if you're rich, if you're
Get to the
poor,
point.
if you're something in between,
Get to the fucking point. Honestly, I liked your shorter videos better. They were easier to dissect.
think it's probably better that we not look at each other and go, your suffering is less. Because when you advance in the world, when you get that house you want, when you get that car you want, you're going to start noticing new problems. And those problems are probably going to feel pretty similar to your old problems. In fact, there's even a quote, a popular phrase.
Oh god, you're gonna be mooching off of somebody else's quotes here. Like you always seem to fucking do when you're trying to make stupid comments, and that was paused perfectly almost. Anyway, let's get to this fucking point.
That really captivates how, despite the fact that you advance the world, you still have significant problems. It's called more money, more problems.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Mo money, mo problems. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
It's a phrase for a reason. You really do typically have more problems when you have more money. They may be smaller problems, they may be different problems.
So are you saying that when you lost your Patreon, does that equal the same amount of problems as someone who has a better Patreon than you? Like PewDiePie would have the same amount of problems because he seems pretty happy right now. You know, are you trying to say that your problems are the same as PewDiePie if because PewDiePie is on another level than you? I mean, you're at the bottom tier of YouTube, dude. I mean, I'm still at the bottom tier of YouTube, but you're at the bottom tier of the old YouTube. And PewDiePie is doing better than you, and I think that's what makes you mad.
Problems, but they still feel like a whole lot. And the reason they do is because the rules typically change when you get rich. And you would know about this if you researched the entire financial world of the wealthy.
Oh, like you have done? Are you going to show proof of that? I mean, are you going to show proof of how they feel? I mean, okay, but whatever.
But if you're smart with financial management, that can be avoided. You just have to hire a professional.
What?
But ultimately, I want you guys to understand that this whole nonsense with going on Twitter and telling other people that they are lesser, that they don't matter as much as you do, like you're a more important citizen because you're
Blah,
fat
blah,
and
blah,
not
blah, blah.
skinny. People can die from being skinny. People can die from being fat. People can die from a lot of things. To belittle someone without even knowing them or understanding their problems, it's not something prideful. All you are doing is just projecting to the world,
Like you are right now, projecting to the world of how stupid and ignorant you are of everything?
screaming out to everyone, look how oblivious I am.
Look how stupid you are by trying to have some base logic that everyone already should know. Oh my god. The point has yet to be made.
Never been skinny, never understood what it's like to be bullied for being skinny, but I'm going to say that they don't have real problems.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever freaking seen. Oh my god. Basically, he was saying what everyone already knows, or every good person should know. There's nothing here worth even talking about because none of it made sense. He started off with fallacies. Then, sorry, there was a gnat on my face. He started off with fallacies, and then he moved on to weird um, analogies. Then he moved on to what seemed to be a point, and then he moved on to something that everyone already should know. Typical Greg, trying to make himself look smarter than he is. When everyone knows that he is not smart. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing, and just generally being great people. especially in my new comments that I get all the time. I just got this video from my last video I did. I didn't know he uploaded a video on his other channel. Um, because he switched it up. I think he switched it up because a lot of people were checking his Onision Speaks channel, and so he switched it up into this channel, UhOhBro, and he decided to try to make himself look more intelligent than he is. And it looks like he's back to his house in this video because he looks like he's back to his green screen area, and he looks like he didn't have the money for the hotel anymore, so he's back home. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Also, if you guys like that I do videos where he hasn't uploaded. I didn't know he had uploaded today because he was on another channel. He uploaded to one of his other channels. So I do apologize for the late upload on this. And I will try to be a little bit more on point. This video is not from his channel. This video is a downloaded version that I did. And this video that he had on his channel is monetized, of course. And I will catch you guys later. Do not give this sucker views.